90-year-old survivor offers hope. By Judy Morio. Suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States with 45,979 deaths in 2020. This is about one death every 11 minutes. The number of people who think about or attempt suicide is even higher. One 90-year-old Mesquite woman is making a bold attempt to do something about this. Dr. Joyce Hunt Brown has had an interesting and challenging life. From overcoming depression and grief and completely conquering ALS, to surviving multiple tragic car accidents and enduring 8 failed back surgeries, which left her disabled and needing to use a power chair, Dr. Joyce Brown has been through it all. Her own personal struggle with suicide began shortly after attending a man's funeral with her mother when she was only 8. Given her own unhappy childhood, when she learned about heaven and the wonderful eternal peace described by the man's friends and family in their eulogies, it all sounded like something for which she was no longer willing to wait. Like countless others before, she bought into the false belief that there was a shortcut to eternal peace of mind. Dr. Joyce continued to struggle with suicidal thoughts well into her adult life. Tragically, the experience of her father's suicide continued to reinforce her belief that taking her life was the answer to all of her problems. At last, when she was only 49, after years of suffering including the pain of rheumatoid arthritis, repeated pneumonia, and numerous surgeries, she was on her deathbed. Suddenly, the great turning point of her life arrived. A 2-year period of being bedridden and deathly ill culminated in a profound near-death experience. This was the transforming incident where she went from desperately wanting to die to desperately wanting to live and help others live. After a miraculous recovery, Dr. Joyce soon began working to prevent suicide and to help those struggling with grief. Across the nation and around the world, Dr. Joyce has been working tirelessly as a chaplain since 1983, answering calls and saving lives while transforming them in the process. She has brought innumerable people back from the brink of suicide. To continue this work, which has included thousands of hours of crisis calls, numerous speaking engagements, and reaching tens of thousands of people through the books she has sold or donated, Dr. Joyce founded Stress and Grief Relief Inc. in 1999, a 501c3 nonprofit and public charity. While making frequent guest appearances on television shows, such as The Hope Doctor, today, Dr. Joyce is also the host and producer of the Hope Doctor Show podcast. She shares the gifts she received from her astounding near-death experience, as well as a divine message offering proof of God's unconditional love and the eternal wisdom that radically transformed and gave new meaning and purpose to her life. This wisdom includes the unique methods and proven techniques she used to reverse ALS, conquer depression and suicide, and overcome anxiety, agoraphobia, and grief. These techniques have helped bring her to where she is now. She is a thriving go-getter who is eagerly chasing after her dream of helping others conquer traumatic stress, depression, suicide, and grief, with a special focus on law enforcement, veterans, and troubled youth. Now, almost 90 years old and still living with myasthenia gravis, MG, a form of muscular dystrophy, and vision problems, Dr. Joyce is also a 33-year survivor of ALS, and she continues to live a vibrant, vigorous, and joyful life. Known today as the therapist's therapist, Dr. Joyce is recognized as a diplomate of the American Academy of Experts in Traumatic Stress. While in practice as a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Joyce received 6 Lifetime Achievement Awards in the natural health field. She is the author of the best-selling book, God's Heavenly Answers, Near-Death Experience Revealed, and the recently released Near-Death Survivor Conquers ALS, Blindness, Depression, Grief, Suicide, and More, a book of hope. Other books include What to Do Before and After the Doctor Says, Nothing More Can Be Done, and The Secret Life of a Little Service Dog Named Kitty, and Proof She Went to Heaven. Some of her programs include The Power of Positive Belief, Change Your Self-Talk, Change Your Life, as well as Suicide, Causes, Cures, and Grief Relief for Loved Ones and Survivors. Her websites are hopedoctor.org and stressandgriefrelief.org. If you or someone you know needs help with stress, grief relief, or overcoming suicidal thoughts, call Dr. Joyce toll-free at 800-734-3439.